Hey guys, welcome into yet another podcast. Cookie and Swanee here. Star Wars Battlefront 2 Clone Wars DLC. We've been talking about exactly when it's going to come out. According to the roadmap, the first part of it's going to come out in the fall, but we don't know exactly when. And me and Swanee have already talked about just how dangerous that could be with a bunch of other games coming out. But just to give you an idea of the amount of games that are coming out during the fall, and just the big games, not even to say the slightly smaller ones. You're going to have Spider-Man coming out on September 7th. Shadow of the Tomb Raider comes out on September 14th. You've got Assassin's Creed coming out on October 5th. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 coming out on October 12th. Battlefield 5 coming out on October 19th. Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out October 26th. And Fallout 76 coming out November 14th. Just to name a few. So all of those games pretty much encompass the entirety of the fall. So, how in the world are Battlefront 2's Clone Wars DLC going to stand out in any way with that plethora of games to have to go up against?
Okay, I think that their only shot is if they probably shoot for probably November now. Because there's so many games coming out in October.
November's actually not as bad.
Yeah, unless there's like a bunch of like smaller games, which I'm sure are coming out in November. Or like another game gets pushed back, which they could always do. Yeah, it's probably November. And November is like late fall. So, I mean, and the other part of the season's coming out in winter. So it might look like we're going to be right by saying that Season 4 would come out in like February or March. But yeah, I think November would probably be the best bet, because if all those games are coming out in October, especially games that EA is making, like Battlefield, for example, that's a huge one. Why would they want to release Clone Wars DLC the same time as Battlefield or Red Dead or any of this stuff? Like, there's going to be so many people playing these other games. Plus, there's the games that are already out, like Fortnite. Fortnite's still pumping out content. Like, there's so many other things that people can play. Why are people going to take time to come back and just play Obi-Wan and Grievous? Like, we're not getting a new map or anything. We're just getting a game mode. I think we're getting a couple hero skins, and we're just getting Obi-Wan and Grievous. So, I mean...
Yeah, that we know of, yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to go for November at this point, because I'm definitely not going to play this game when I have Red Dead or Battlefield, so...
Mm-hmm. Well, not in your spare time, no. I mean, it is kind of... I just don't understand how Battlefront 2... And you're right, because it's in direct conflict with Battlefield 5. They're both first-person shooters. They're Battlefield, Battlefront. Obviously, they're both set on giant battles and things of that nature. Why would anybody pick Star Wars Battlefront 2 over Battlefield 5 unless they're just avid Star Wars fans at that point? There's absolutely no reason for them to do that. So to have those two games almost directly compete doesn't really make sense to me in any way. Battlefront 2 really desperately should have had Clone Wars DLC come out in August. That would have been great. That would have worked out very well for them. Or have it come out in July. Obviously, that's not happening, but that would have been the place to do it. Also, talking about the second part that we have predicted might come around February or March, that's fairly competitive video game time, too. We've talked about that, too. Anthem's, I think, going to come out in February, I believe. I believe Crackdown 3 is supposed to come out in February. There's other games that come out usually in the February-March timeline. That's a pretty competitive time, too.
Yeah.
So they really just screwed this up. They should have had DLC coming out for Clone Wars during the summer. That would have been great. Perfect timing.
Oh, yeah,
very little competition. There is nothing going on in video games. Trust me, we've been trying to find it. It's all Fortnite. Fortnite has dominated the summer because there's no big releases during the summer. Star Wars Battlefront 2 could have done very, very well with new Clone Wars DLC, but they screwed it up, and now they're going to directly compete with all these new games. And unless you're just somebody who just exclusively plays Star Wars, I don't understand why you would pick Battlefront 2's Clone Wars DLC over any of these games.
Yeah. And
it's a plethora of good games.
You got to keep this in mind. If these heroes come in and they cost a lot of credits, like the general population, the ones that aren't hardcore Battlefront fans that follow this game, a lot of people gave up on this game. There's only a dwindling community left because, like, all the Star Wars views are going down. Look at like Battlefront Updates or Star Wars HQ or Us or all these Star Wars channels. The views in general just keep going down and down and down until something sparks back the community. If these heroes cost a lot of credits, like the general, just casual players are going to come back, not have enough credits, and they're not going to want to grind to get the enough credits for these heroes. If there's all these other games like Red Dead or Battlefield or Call of Duty or Spider-Man or who knows whatever they're playing, why are they going to come back to Battlefront to have to grind to unlock Obi-Wan and Grievous? Now, the players that already have all these credits, I mean, they're good because they've been playing all summer. But those that are just coming back, they're not going to have enough credits, and they're probably just going to be instantly turned off and just go back to playing something else.
Yeah, that whole credit problem is going to completely destroy any hope this has. And we kind of already talked about that before. The fact that they're going back to what originally pissed off people in the first place, they have no chance in this situation. I mean, even that would have at least been some redeeming factor because people have been waiting for so long for something like Clone Wars DLC and for characters like Obi-Wan and Grievous that at least if they were free, there would be some interest in coming back to the game. But they're not even going to be free. They're going to cost a bunch of credits. I would imagine a buttload of credits so they can make some money off of this game. It's doomed. Like, it's just, I don't see how they can possibly really make this work. And you're right, the general population, I mean, like the Battlefront 2 crowd will be excited. They'll play. They might even pay for some of the stuff. But that won't be nearly enough. They need the outside crowd that was into Battlefront 2 when it first came out and they got turned off. They need that crowd back, and that has no chance of happening. Not with the fact that they're going back to the original problem and all these other games are coming out. And people have basically forgotten about Battlefront 2 except the avid die-hard fans that are still playing it. The general public doesn't care about this game.
Yeah.
And Clone Wars DLC makes them start to care again, but not enough.
Yeah, if they want this...
Not enough against all this.
If they want this to be successful and they want to like actually make money off this, then yeah, they need to reach more of the general public. The ones that are already playing, they already have a crap ton of credits saved up. They're not going to spend any money because they don't really have to. So they need to appeal to as many people as possible. They need to bring back those players. They need to bring back all the ones that gave up for whatever reasons over the past like 8 or 9 months. And if these heroes are like 60,000 credits a pop, that's a lot of grinding you have to do. Like, somebody asked Ben the other day, and Ben was defending the game right now. He's like, you can earn credits faster than ever because of the like, just all the different updates they've did. Well, say you're a new player and you join the game.
It doesn't work.
You join the game right now, like with the current end screen, like you still get the same amount of credits as you normally would. But if you're a new player, you don't know that. You just play a match, you play Galactic Assault for like 20 minutes on Kashyyyk, you see you got 230 credits, and then you're like, wow, this isn't worth it. And then you would instantly be turned off to the game. That's why I don't know why it takes them a month to fix their crap. You would think they want to fix it as soon as possible so that more and more people wouldn't be turned off from the game.
Yeah, not to mention all the bugs will turn them off too.
Yeah.
So there's tons of... It's just, oh my gosh, like they had Second Life, like at the whole EA Play thing, announcing Clone Wars really kind of gave Battlefront 2 some second life, and they just destroyed it all away again. Like even if Clone Wars DLC had to directly compete with all these games, they still could have had a decent amount of success if they were showing that they were improving, if they were showing that they were going somewhere, that they weren't going back to their stupid credits thing, if they were actually updating the game and making it better. Yes, they would still overall not do very well against these other games, but at least they could get some people interested, and I think they could get some people back into it that, you know, really want to play as Obi-Wan and Grievous, because, like, there's tons of Star Wars fans, avid Star Wars fans, that hate this game, have completely given up on it, but are interested in the idea of Clone Wars DLC, but they will be instantly turned right back off by the stupid credit system and the stupid horrendous development this game has gone through. And that's what they're really going to have to struggle with. And some of those people are going to be the ones watching this video, and I guarantee they're going to hit the comment section and say, yeah, I'm not playing this game compared to all the other great games that are going to be coming out. That's just how it is. So I don't see how they have any chance of making this work, even with Obi-Wan and Grievous and all the other things that might come with this update. It's not going to compare to what else is out there.
Yeah, and what's
it's just
sad
too little, far too late.
is that it could be a success in terms of like content. Like Grievous and Obi-Wan could be amazing. The new game mode could be amazing. All the little updates and fixes that they do and the hero tweaks and et cetera, could be amazing. There could be no bugs, and it could be the greatest patch ever for this game in the history of this game. It could be amazing. But then there's so many other games out right now that, one, a lot of the crowd's not even going to notice that this is even out. A lot of the crowd's not going to care. A lot of the crowd's going to come back and see that they cost 60 or 40 or however many thousand credits. And so I think it might be a success in terms of content, but it will be a failure in terms of being a success in terms of like money to like provide
and revenue,
future content for the game. That's what I think is going to happen.
I agree, and there's been games like that have done that in the future that have come out and they were messed up. They got a bad release, and then maybe 6 to 8 months later they were a great game, but it was already too late.
Well,
they screwed up their
EA's
release,
not very good
so
at
it didn't matter.
Advertising. Look at what they did with Titanfall 2 and Battlefield 1. They released them at like the same time, which is owned by the same company.
That was
like
incredibly stupid.
EA published both of them, and then Titanfall 2 just completely bombed, which is sad because it was a really, really great game. The story mode was fun, and it was a good sequel to the first one, but like nobody bought it because Battlefield 1 just completely dominated. And if they release this in October, which they could do, then I don't know what's going to happen. Like,
it's directly competing with multiple FPSs. I mean, you've got Call of Duty Black Ops, you've got Battlefield 5. I mean, Red Dead is, I wouldn't call it an FPS, but you have all those games directly competing.
Well, this isn't even really an FPS.
It's incredible.
How many people play in first person? Not very many.
Yeah, that's technically true too. But just a shooter in general. It doesn't have much of a chance.
And then if they wait till November, that's a pretty long wait from Han Solo season till season 3. Like, how many of the players are going to stick around? There's already, like I said earlier, tons of people are like not following this game anymore. The views are down for all Battlefront channels. Like, people are losing interest. If we have to wait till November, how many people are going to stick around? Especially if all those other games come out. So, yeah, it's not looking too good. Well, that's going to do it for us, guys. Let us know, as always, down in the comments below on your opinion on this. Are you guys going to be playing all these new games? Are you going to come back to Battlefront? Are you going to be turned off by how much the heroes cost if they cost more than, 40,000 credits? Give this video a thumbs up if you made it this far. Check out another video, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
We would be honored if you would join us. You cannot resist